Hi-oh, Silver! Brace yourself as we gallop through the thrilling world of the Lone Ranger, a legendary radio show that echoed through the airwaves with the beat of hooves and the call of justice. Meet the mysterious Lone Ranger, a masked hero whose identity remains shrouded in secrecy, and his steadfast companion, Tonto. In the vast expanse of the Old West, the Lone Ranger and Tonto rode together, their deeds echoing through the canyons and prairies. The Lone Ranger, a symbol of justice and righteousness, rode on the mighty Silver, his white stallion, with Tonto at his side on the ever-loyal Scout. The Lone Ranger's silver bullets and unwavering commitment to justice made him an icon, a lone crusader against the forces of lawlessness. Tonto, his trusted companion and a skilled tracker, stood by his side, adding depth to their dynamic duo. Together, they rode their steeds, Silver and Scout. The Lone Ranger and Tonto galloped into the hearts of our listeners, and their adventures becoming legendary. The sound of the galloping hooves and the Lone Ranger's stirring call, "Hi-oh, Silver!" became synonymous with justice prevailing in the Old West. So saddle up and ride with us as we revisit the thrilling tales of the Lone Ranger, Tonto, Silver, and Scout, where every episode is a daring ride into the heart of the frontier justice. Now let's get into this episode. This episode originally aired January 20th, 1947, and the title is The Silver Bullet. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo, Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fellow. Hey, Silver! Away!
Early in the 18th century, a meteorite from Andromeda blazed through the skies and landed with earth-shaking force in California. For decades, it lay nearly buried in its own pit. Then scientists in Washington began an intensive search for a new, rare chemical element which it was believed would have properties of an almost fantastic nature. Unable to find that element on Earth, the chemists thought it might exist on other planets. They decided to experiment with chunks of the rock-like material broken from the meteorite. A jealous foreign country hoped to block American research. Agents intercepted 2 shipments of the meteoric rock. A third chest was filled with material from the depleted meteorite. It was taken aboard a Butterfield stage in California. The Lone Ranger and Tonto were secretly appointed to guard the passage of the stagecoach to St. Louis. Despite their efforts, this third shipment was stolen by the foreign agents. The guard and driver of the stagecoach had been killed. Mary Deming was found tied hand and foot, and Martin, the other passenger, lay on the ground, apparently knocked out. Both Martin and the girl were willing and eager to cooperate with the Lone Ranger.
Martin, can you drive the stagecoach to St. Louis?
I'll be glad to try if it'll help.
It will mean that Tonto and I can get after the thieves.
Well, then do so. Do so at once.
You'll have to take the dead guard and driver with you.
Of course.
We'll wrap them in blankets and put them in the stage. You can ride on the driver's seat with Martin.
Very well.
You know, in spite of that mask, you seem to be on the right side.
I think I am.
I hope you catch those murdering thieves.
Have you any idea where to look for them?
Yes.
You know where to find them?
I think we can go straight to their hideout.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto placed the dead men in the stage, then mounted their horses while Martin climbed to the driver's seat and picked up the reins.
Now, don't worry about it. We'll reach St. Louis without difficulty.
I'm sure you will, Martin.
You get after those killers and see that they're brought to justice.
We'll do our best.
You've already seen two of them.
Yes.
The third is a short, heavy-set man with a black horse.
Thanks. Ready, Tonto?
You ready?
Good luck to you.
And you.
Come on, Silver. Get up, Scout.
Now, Mary, we'll get started.
You're, to meet some of the men, aren't you?
Yes. Get up! Come on.
Where?
The other side of that mountain. Certainly pulled the wool over that masked man's eyes.
I don't understand him.
Haven't you guessed his identity?
Why, no, have you?
Silver bullets in his gun belt, horse called Silver, Indian friend called Tonto.
Martin, who is he?
Haven't you heard of the Lone Ranger?
You mean to say that man is the Lone Ranger?
Yes. Get up. Come on.
Martin, I don't like it. I knew the government would have men watching the shipment of meteoric rock, but the Lone Ranger... Did you know he would be one of the guards?
Yes, I knew it weeks ago. Remember when Vince and Rankin were captured?
Yes.
It was the Lone Ranger who captured them. The Indian, Tonto, was the man I knocked out to release the boys.
Oh.
The Lone Ranger is supposed to meet a government agent. They were to work together.
How do you know?
Rankin had a brief glance at the letter.
Seen nothing of a government agent.
I'm quite sure I know who he is.
Who?
The short, stocky man on the black horse.
Oh.
We first saw him near the California border. He's appeared a number of times since.
That's right.
The Lone Ranger thought that he helped Vincent Rankin steal the ore.
Now, just a minute, Martin. Maybe the Lone Ranger is fooling you. Maybe he knows that the man on the black horse is a government agent.
No, Mary, he doesn't know it. I'm sure of that. Get up!
How can you be so sure?
A secret agent is to wear a silver bullet as a mark of identification. If the Lone Ranger had found his man, he wouldn't have searched me for a silver bullet.
The Lone Ranger might get Vincent Rankin.
I doubt it.
But he said he could go directly to the hideout. Must have meant the cave. And that's where Rankin and Vince are going.
They'll stop in the cave only long enough to unload their saddlebags. Then they'll go through the tunnel the other side of the mountain.
Can't the masked man follow?
If he does, he'll run into trouble.
How?
The men were to meet her waiting in the valley at the end of the tunnel. Get up! Come on!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto didn't suspect that the stagecoach passengers were in reality the enemy agents. They rode hard, but when they came to an arroyo near the cave, the masked man signaled a halt.
Hurry up, Tonto. Who's Silver? Why we stop here, Kemosabe?
Get that old hat and shirt from your saddlebag, Tonto. I have the stain for my face.
Why, you put on disguise?
Yes, I'll take off the mask and darken my face.
We lose plenty time.
We've already lost time. We had to help Martin get the dead men into the stage.
That's right.
Those 3 crooks have had time to hide the stolen ore. If that's the case, I'll have to locate it.
Maybe you get rough, make crooks talk.
Rough handling won't make those men talk. They'll never talk if they know who I am. But if they think I'm just another outlaw in hiding, they might take me into their confidence. At any rate, I'll have a better chance of finding the hiding place of the ore. There. My face stained evenly?
It all right.
Good. Now for the shirt.
There's just one trouble.
What's that, Tonto?
The sky's plenty good, but crooks no silver.
It's not far to the cave. I'll walk. You stay here with Scott and Silver.
You go alone?
Yes.
What, there are 3 men. Vince and Rankin, plenty bad. Maybe fella with black horse, even worse.
I'll have to take the chance. We've got to recover the ore. That's even more important than to capture the murderers.
You be plenty careful. You not like it when you go alone.
If there's any trouble, Tonto, you'll hear gunfire. In that case, come fast and bring the horses.
Where, government man?
I wish I knew. I was disappointed to learn that Rodney Martin wasn't wearing the silver bullet.
Jim Clark thought him government man.
Poor Jim.
Him speak a feller on black horse.
Yes, I remember. We suspected him of being an enemy. If we'd only done something about our suspicions, Jim Clark might not have been killed.
You sure him work with Vince and Rankin?
You heard what Martin told us.
The
other passenger, Mary Deming, confirmed what Martin said. There, I'm ready. I'll wait here until I return, Tonto, unless you hear shooting. In that case, come fast.
Get along there. Get it.
While the Lone Ranger approached the cave on foot, Rodney Martin guided the stagecoach through a valley on the other side of the mountain. Ahead, he saw 3 horses, and nearby stood 3 of the members of his organization.
There they are, Mary. You haven't met those men, have you?
No.
Biggest is called Reno. One in the tan shirt is Trigger Collins. One nearest the horses, Grizzly Smith.
That Trigger Collins has his gun ready. They look as if they're expecting trouble.
Well, they haven't recognized me yet.
Where are Vince and Rankin?
Probably on their way through the tunnel.
I don't see the tunnel. Where is it?
See those rocks, don't you?
Yes.
They conceal the entrance.
Does the tunnel go right through the mountain?
That's right. Cave's at the other end.
That's the cave the Indians consider haunted?
Yep. White men as well as Indians. Everyone keeps away from it.
Hey, boss! Hi there, boss!
Hello, boy! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Hey, look! Boss has a girl with it.
We thought you'd never get here.
Hey, how come you're driving a stage? Let me give you a hand down, boss.
I can make it without help.
Hey, who's the girl?
Just a minute. Step down, Mary.
Thank you.
Boys, this is Mary Deming. She's done some very valuable work for us on the West Coast. Mary, this is Reno.
Howdy, ma'am.
Trigger Collins.
Glad to see you.
And Grizzly Smith.
Howdy. How long you been working for the outfit?
Quite a while. Much longer than you men.
Boss, how long have you been driving a stagecoach?
Regular drivers inside with a guard.
Inside.
Both of them are dead.
Had to get rough with them, huh?
Say, how about that stuff we're supposed to take charge of? Is that inside, too?
We've already secured possession of it. Vince and Rankin have it. They're going to leave it in the cave and then come through the tunnel to meet us here.
We heard that the Lone Ranger was to guard this stage. How about that?
Lone Ranger tried to guard it. We failed.
What?
Vince and Rankin lured him and his Indian companion away, went through the tunnel, and circled back to the stage. Before the masked man got back, we'd taken care of things.
What'd you do?
We shot the guard and driver and loaded the meteoric rock in saddlebags. Mary here was tied. I was tapped slightly on the head, just enough to raise a bump. By the time the masked man returned, Vince and Rankin had gone with the saddlebags.
Yeah, and it looked like you and the girl was victims of the stage drivers, huh?
That's right.
And the Lone Ranger doesn't suspicion you at all?
Nah.
Say, that's downright slick. Here come Vince and Rankin. Hey, Rankin. What's the matter with your arm?
I stopped one of the masked man's bullets, but it's just a scratch. He'll get worse when he stops one of mine.
Did you get the ore hidden?
Yeah, boss. And while we was in the cave, we had a visitor.
Lone Ranger went after you.
And we didn't see nothing of him. We seen someone else.
And he blamed near took us by surprise.
Well, who? What happened?
Well, me and Vince emptied the saddlebags and hid the stuff in the usual place. We were just about to start through the tunnel when we heard a horse approaching.
From the tunnel?
Yeah. We ducked back fast and took our horses with us. We got to a dark corner and kept quiet.
Now, just a minute, Rankin. You mean to say that someone went to the cave from this valley?
That's what. He come into the cave and dismounted. He looked around for a minute.
He was set to shoot if he'd spotted us.
Yeah, but he didn't spot us. He went to the mouth of the cave and looked out. That gave us a chance to slip into the tunnel and come here.
We left him in the cave.
Who is the man?
Yeah, we never seen him before. He was a short, heavy-set gent. He rode a black horse.
A black horse? Are you sure of that?
Yeah, why?
You hear that, Mary?
The government agent.
What? You mean to say that hombre is a government man?
That's it exactly. I'm sure of it. And if he's still in the cave, the Lone Ranger will probably meet him there. And the Lone Ranger thinks he's one of the men who robbed the stage and killed the garden driver. Oh, I wonder what'll happen when those two meet.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. The Lone Ranger thought that Rodney Martin and Mary Deming were commonplace passengers on the stagecoach to St. Louis. He didn't suspect that the two were members of the organization that was determined to intercept all shipments of meteoric rock from California to block scientific research. Martin knew that the Lone Ranger and Tonto were on their way to the cave in search of the stage robbers. He was delighted to learn that a man on a black horse, a federal agent, was already in the cave because he had described this man to the Lone Ranger as one of the outlaws.
I wondered where he was at the time of the holdup.
Then you knew about him.
He's been near the stagecoach from the time we left California.
He must have been investigating the tunnel. That's why he wasn't on hand during the holdup.
Well, he's due for a surprise, and so is the Lone Ranger.
You better not count on them shooting on sight. That government man might recognize the Lone Ranger.
I'm not counting on anything.
If they get together and search the cave, they'll find all that stuff we stole.
Precious little good it'll do them. Rankin, you and Vince go back through the tunnel.
Go back?
Yes. The rest of us will move around the mountain and approach the front entrance of the cave. The Lone Ranger and the federal man will be trapped.
Hey, that's slick.
Good scheming.
And if something happens to those two, it can be blamed on the spirits that are supposed to haunt that cave.
The cave had been well chosen as a headquarters. The walls and ceiling were rich in magnetic lodestone. Foxfire glowed with a spectral light in dark corners, and the wind made a weird sound as it brushed a natural chimney. Indians and superstitious white men thought the cave was haunted and shunned it accordingly. The mouth of the cave was large enough to admit a man on horseback, and an equally large opening at the rear of the high-ceilinged cavern opened into a tunnel that went through the mountain. A black horse stood at rest on one side of the large room. The owner was near the entrance, his gun in hand, as the disguised Lone Ranger entered.
That's far enough.
Oh, I know someone was here.
Stand right where you are.
Thought everyone was afraid of this place. It's good to find someone who's got sense enough to recognize a good hideout.
It is, huh? Who are you?
A lot of people have asked that question. I've never answered it.
Is this your hideout?
Do you object to sharing it?
I'm the Dodge, huh? Who's after you?
A lot of men would like to get me. Where are your pals?
My pals?
The two who helped stick up the stage.
What stage?
The eastbound Butterfield.
You mean to say it was held up?
You needn't act innocent for my benefit. Get the gun away and we'll get acquainted.
What do you know about a holdup?
Quite a bit.
When did it happen? Who did it?
I got there after it was over.
I want to know what happened. Talk.
No one has ever made me talk. Now, if you want to be sociable, put the gun away.
Well, all right, I'll holster the gun. Just remember this. I'll get it into action fast if you try anything.
Oh, how fast?
Why, you...
Steady.
That draw.
A little slow, aren't you?
I'm considered fast on the draw.
I want you to understand that I'm talking because I want to. Not because you're making me. Put the gun away.
Who are you?
We might be able to do each other some good.
Have you been using this cave as a hideout?
I've been here long enough to understand the thing that frightens others away. For example, the wailing sound is nothing more than the wind blowing past a natural chimney. And that purple glow in the corner is merely decaying wood.
Foxfire.
Exactly.
What were you going to tell me about the holdup?
Well, a masked man and an Indian rode up to the stage. They found Martin unconscious and the girl passenger tied hand and foot. Then Martin agreed to drive the stage through to St. Louis with the bodies of the guard and driver.
You mean to say the guard and driver were killed?
Yes.
What did the masked man do?
He's looking for the murderers. Vince, Rankin, and you.
You know those two?
Vincent Rankin? I know of them. The masked man tangled with them once before.
You didn't see the actual holdup, did you?
How do you know what I saw?
If you had, you wouldn't include me with Vincent Rankin.
Why do you try to make me think you didn't have a part in the holdup? Surely you don't think I'm a lawman.
You could be.
Yes, but on the...
What's the matter?
Last time I was here, the foxfire in that corner was piled high. Now those rotting logs are spread out in the corner. I wonder...
What are you going to do?
There you are. Going to see if the loot from the robbery was hidden beneath this wood.
What was stolen?
It is, I'm sure of it. Meteoric rock.
In that case...
No, you don't. Still a little slow on the draw, aren't you? Now we'll change the tune. Where are the others?
What others?
The men who helped you rob the stage. Vince and Rankin. Where are they?
I don't know.
Don't stall. Now that I've found the stolen material, I'm no longer inclined to be friendly.
You are a lawman.
I'm not restricted by the rules that govern regular lawmen. You'll talk
Wait,
or I'll ring...
I think I have you tagged. There's only one man could outdraw me, and you've done it twice. The speed of your draw identifies you. You spoke of a masked man.
I spoke of Vince and Rankin.
Listen to me. Did that masked man put on different clothes, remove his mask, use a disguise, and come here to find the stolen rock?
Why?
Did he decide to act the part of an outlaw, a man in hiding, until he found the stuff that meteors are made of?
Why do you say that?
Is he looking for a man who wears a silver bullet?
Yes.
If you're the Lone Ranger, you've found your man.
You?
My name is Black. My boss is Uncle Sam. I wrote a letter to the Lone Ranger.
I read that letter.
Remember the last line?
The letter said you'd be wearing a silver bullet. The last line of the letter was destroyed, so I couldn't read it.
The letter said I'll be wearing a silver bullet in miniature mounted on a ring. Look, here's the ring.
Good. Now, you were to give me the name of the man in St. Louis. The man who will take charge of the ore.
I have the name with me. What made you think I had a hand in the robbery and murder?
Because Martin described you.
Passenger?
Yes, he said you were there with Vincent Rankin.
He lied.
And the girl backed him up.
Until you told me, I didn't know the stage had been stopped.
Where were you half an hour ago?
Coming through that tunnel from the other side of the mountain. Oh. I'd heard that Vincent Rankin and the rest of their organization had a hideout somewhere around here. Did some scouting and found the tunnel entrance in a valley.
Martin must have known that you were the government agent. He wanted to make trouble for you. That's why he told me you were involved in the robbery.
And Martin must be one of the gang.
Also the girl, Mary Deming.
Are you sure that rock is the stuff from the stagecoach?
I think we've found the loot from all 3 robberies.
Then those 2, Vince and Rankin, must have been here. I wonder how I missed them.
There they are!
Look.
Come on, look, get them!
The mouth of the cave. You got one of them.
This way. Get into the tunnel. Here, Black, stop here. Keep close to the walls of the tunnel. We'll have some protection.
Those 3, who are they? You know them?
One's an outlaw known as Reno.
I'll get you. I can still handle you down to the tramp. You may as well surrender.
Surrender? That's just the start. Come on in. You want us, come and get us.
The gunfire should bring Tonto.
Those rocks at the entrance give them more protection than we have.
Keep them down. Shoot fast when they stick their heads out to aim.
We got you covered.
Behind us, that's Rankin.
He's in the tunnel.
Put on your guns and we'll drop you.
Down, Black. Flat on the floor.
Them shots are warnings. We got you from both sides.
He's right.
You give up?
Does that look like it?
Or this.
You asked for it. Here it is.
I can't see a thing in that tunnel. Gotta shoot blind.
We don't make much of a target ourselves. Keep as close to the ground as you can.
Come on, Rankin. Right out of that tunnel. We'll nail them when they show themselves.
You'll nail who?
That's Tonto.
Tonto had crawled close to the mouth of the cave. His war cry was followed by fast shots. The men on that side of the Lone Ranger and the federal agent turned in surprise. One of them went down. The Lone Ranger seized the opportunity to attack. He and Black charged across the cave.
Here's one for Jim Clark. Now, wait.
Take it. Oh! Hey, wait. Let them have it, Vince. The others are down. Shoot back. Hey.
There, Vince.
Oh,
Black.
They got me.
They'll pay for that.
I'll get one of them.
That got him.
Black hit plenty hard.
Not much we can do for him, Tonto.
No. But me put wet cloth on face. Maybe help him come to.
Black.
You.
We got them, Black. 2 are dead. 3 are captured.
What about Martin?
Martin set the trap for us, then stayed in the stagecoach to watch from a distance. He's gotten away.
But the meteor rock. You have that?
We'll see that it gets to St. Louis.
Good.
Now listen to me, Black. You're to give me the name of the man in St. Louis.
Name?
The name. Tell me, I've got to know.
Ring. Take Ring. The silver bullet.
Yes, but give me the name. The name, do you understand? One word. The man in St. Louis.
Name is...
Tonto.
Him gone.
Tonto, we'll lick that organization. It's the last thing we ever do.
Well, the Lone Ranger and Tonto have possession of the meteoric rock, but Rodney Martin and his girl accomplice have gotten away in the stagecoach. The Lone Ranger's greatest danger of all lies just ahead when the masked man tries to deliver the priceless rock from outer space in St. Louis.
I'm through there.
story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger, Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. And send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.